Hi guys, welcome to this discussion. It's been a long time since we met on a Wednesday. So here's today's set of questions. There were a lot of current affairs, more of current affairs. Things that have happened in the recent past, especially in June. This so in June 2020, Lazarus Chakwera became the president of Malawi. Malawi is a country in Central Africa, and let's write a little about this. So Malawi will write about the usual stuff about each of these countries. So Malawi dash Lilingwa, L-I, the capital is Lilongwe. I repeat, Lilongwe, Lilingwe dash. Of course, this guy, Chakwera is the president. He had won the election last year, but the president, in charge, the incumbent in those days, he said, "I do not accept this result." And this guy, he's a priest. Chakwera appealed in the Supreme Court of Malawi, and luckily, the Supreme Court held forth despite a lot of threats from the ruling party and everything. So they asked for a runoff, again a presidential runoff, and this guy won by a huge majority. So Chakwera is in the presidential house today. So Lazarus Chakwera, and the currency is kwacha, 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 kwacha. You could underline the word Malawi, pull it down arrow, right? Previously called, that's first point, previously called Nyasa land, Nyasaland, Nyasa land, Nyasaland, Nyasa land. Second point, nicknamed, the warm heart of Africa, the warm, W-A-R-M, warm heart of Africa, the warm heart of Africa, the warm heart of Africa. Why warm heart? Because of the friendly nature of the people. The people here are pretty friendly, but Malawi is one of the poorest countries in the world. Its per capita income is among the lowest in the world, so is life expectancy. People are pretty poor, but I think somewhere down the line they realize that what they have could get better, but they are happy with what they have. So 9% of this country's population is HIV infected. 9%, that's 1 in 10 persons, my friends. And 1 in 10 adults is HIV infected. So these things impact a country's economic growth also. There are a lot of social issues, there are a lot of political issues because of this. Most importantly, there are social and political issues. Social and economic issues. See, if a person has HIV infection, that would mean that the person would not be in a very healthy position, given that Malawi's per capita income is below $400 per annum, which is very, very low by global standards. Now, which means that a lot of people are poor and they won't be able to afford HIV medication, which is basically about retroviral drugs. Now, if people can't afford, which also means that their health, is not great, and which would impact the family's finances. And of course, if the person is not healthy, if the person is working, the person won't be productive, won't be very efficient. So this reduces the quality of life of the family because the finances go down, the income also goes down. This is how we think, basically, or rather how we should think. So the overall quality of life is poor because of a lot of factors, and one of those factors is HIV infection, widespread HIV infection. So then we have this country called Tanzania. Tanzania again is pretty close to where Malawi is. You could write Tanzania dash. The capital is Dodoma, 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 Dodoma. The president is John Magufuli. John Magufuli. 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 And the currency is shilling. 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 If you would wish to write this, underline the word Tanzania, pull it down arrow, right? Home to Kilimanjaro, Mount Kilimanjaro, 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 Mount Kilimanjaro, dash 5897 meters, 5897 meters, dash Africa's tallest peak, Africa's tallest peak, tallest mountain, Africa's tallest peak. It's actually on the border with Kenya, so but generally seen as part of Tanzania. Okay, from there we'll go to the third one, Central African Republic, probably the poorest country in the world. Central African Republic. It's in the heart of Africa, truly central. Okay. Normally I would have a map, but I think we don't have a map for this question. I didn't put anything today. So we have the capital Bangui, 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 Bangui. The president, and he's, you could say, responsible for the sufferings of the people of Central African Republic, the most unhappy nation in the world. So right, Faustin Archange Touadera. Right, I'll spell it. Faustin. I repeat, Faustin hyphen AR capital A. I'll repeat, hyphen ARCHANGE. So Faustin Archange Touadera, Touadera, Touadera. Faustin Archange Touadera. And the currency is franc, F-R-A-N-C, franc, F-R-A-N-C, franc. Next, Mozambique. Look at that, Mozambique. If you look at I think it's one of the very few countries in the world whose name has all the 5 vowels. Yeah, A-I-U-E-O, all of them. Not in the order, of course, but I'm talking of the name. And it's named after a person who founded an island there. Okay, Musa bin, Musa bin Bike. Don't write this. M-U-S-A, Musa bin, B-I-N, bin, B-K, B-I-Q-U-E. But it's enough, yeah. You don't have to write that. So, Mozambique, dash, the capital is Maputo, M-A-P-U-T-O, Maputo, M-A-P-U-T-O, Maputo. The president is Philip Nyusi, Philip, F-E-L-I-P-E. I repeat, F-E-L-I-P-E, Philip Nyusi, N-Y-U-S-I, 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 Philip Nyusi. And the currency is, this is Mozambique, Metical, M-E-T-I-C-A-L. I repeat, M-E-T-I-C-A-L, Metical, Metical. Okay. I don't know, it's a former Portuguese colony. It was ruled by Portugal, and this is where, good old, not good or old, in fact, he was evil. Vasco da Gama came here, when he was on his way to India in 1498, he first came here. and he kind of from that colonization started, and the Portuguese colonized this place, and even today the main language spoken in Mozambique is Portuguese. Okay. See, Mozambique and Mozambique and Tanzania are neighboring countries, and they have a major problem with regard to albino people. See, people who have albinism. Albinism is the absence of the skin pigment, melanin, basically, which gives the color. Which makes people look very. I mean, they don't have skin pigment basically, so they look very pale. So I think North India में भूरा बोलते हैं. So people in this part of the world believe that. See, look, I'm telling you what happens here. I'm not. It is reprehensible. It's a practice that is extremely hateable. So I can only tell you what happens here. So people who are albinos, people with albinism are killed. And why are they killed? Because it is believed that their body parts have magical powers. And this practice is called muti, M-U-T-I, muti. Look, there are superstitions everywhere. So this is just a very, very dangerous superstition, of course. So, then we have this country called Zambia. Zambia is a neighboring country, of course, pretty close to where Malawi is. So, right, Zambia's capital is Lusaka, L-U-S-A-K-A, Lusaka, L-U-S-A-K-A, Lusaka. Sometimes I get a little disturbed by these kinds of things, in these countries. Jada padna bhi thoda, it disturbs mind. So we have Zambia, which is where you'll find Lusaka, L-U-S-A-K-A, Lusaka. The president is Edgar Lungu, Edgar, E-D-G-A-R, Edgar Lungu, L-U-N-G-U, Lungu, Edgar Lungu, and Edgar Lungu, and the last one, which is currency, is Kwacha, K-W-A-C-H-A, Kwacha. Kwacha. See, you don't have to remember. I always say this, but it's good to know. And जब भी आपके पास अगर whenever you get some time, and we have a lot of time. All of us have a lot of time, 24 hours. So what you do is every 1 hour you do this. Have an atlas at home, or simply pull out your phone. Pull out your phone and go to Africa map or some part of the world and just look up where what are the countries. You don't have to remember. Yahan acha aisa hai. Become familiar. Become familiar. So someone yesterday was asking me late last night around 2 kind of thing. One of our students asked me, how do we learn things? So this is the question I'm often asked, and wherever I go I'm asked this question, and I believe that there is an answer to this question, which is, see, look, this is something that works for me, may work for you, may not work in entirety for you, but at least you could pick some parts from it. One major thing you could do is to pick a random story from a newspaper or a website. Like what I do is I open Wikipedia. Wikipedia मेरे पास phone पे हमेशा रहता है Wikipedia, and normally all the settings are too dark, so everything is dark, the background, so there is no pressure on the eyes, no strain on the eyes. तो आप क्या करेंगे? Wikipedia पे आप pick something. What I pick is whatever comes to my mind. I'm watching some show on TV, Ninja Hattori. Okay, so when I say ninja, I type in ninja, so I get that word. When I say ninja, आ गया कुछ इसके बारे में. So who are ninjas? A little about, let's Japan. Click on Japan, it will take you somewhere. So this is called link wisdom. One thing leads to another. I don't try to remember anything. You don't have to try. That's what I'm saying. Once you begin to understand and familiarize, you remember. See, you remember the birthdays, the anniversaries of important people in your life. Why do you remember? Because they are important. isn't it? Because you wouldn't want to forget the important days in your life, in their life, because you love them. Similarly, you need to understand that these things are important to build a great future. No, not knowledge of Africa or anything, but that willingness to learn. सीखने की इच्छा से बहुत कुछ कर सकते हैं हम. Okay, remember, never be discouraged by what you don't understand, but what you don't remember. It's okay. You don't understand a lot of things. Do you think you understand? Do you think I would, as your teacher, I remember all these things? No. What I do is I build a story. I build a story. So Pochu Vasco da Gama, he was a hardcore Catholic. When he came to India, he found a boatload of Muslims who were coming from Makkah, who were performing the Hajj. And what he did was he set fire to the boat. Do you believe that? The man was evil. He set fire to the boat. Every child, every woman, every man on the boat died. Because he believed in no. See, historians might whitewash saying that no, he was not a bigot, religious bigot, just as they the whitewash what Mahmud Ghajni did, what Aurangzeb did. You just have to understand there are certain truths you cannot escape. So read, become familiar, don't have strong opinions about everything because things change very, very easily. Very, very easily. So this is the age to learn, my friends. And every day of every moment of every day of your life is a moment. आज कल परसों सीखना है हमें. We have to learn. Okay? And chill, don't worry too much about it. But use the phone to do well. So अब क्या करेंगे आज? When you're chatting with your friend on WhatsApp, TikTok तो नहीं रहा अभी. So when a Snapchat or whatever especially WhatsApp, send a message to your friend. Pull an Times of India kind of website, shorts, जो भी है, Wikipedia. Search some stories, start to read. Till your friend replies, okay? Keep reading, and you know how to move it to the apps. So you move to apps. Once your friend replies, go to that window, chat window, and reply, and come here. This is the way to learn, and this is what you could do. This is the way, my friends. Okay, things are you may have your own way. Look, as I said, you may have your own way, but what works for you, please continue to do this. Okay. According to the World Bank's Global Economic Prospects Report, our country's economy will contract a lot, my friends. They have said a little over 3%, but I think it will be, the IMF has said it's going to contract about by 4.5% or so. So we don't know as to what will be the exact number, but see, these are all projections, and projections keep changing all the time. Okay, so no one projected. No one thought about last year in December, no one thought about coronavirus. No one thought in January itself, no one thought about coronavirus. When the finance minister presented the budget on 1st of February this year, she didn't talk about the coronavirus, the lockdown, the number of deaths. No one talked about it. So these are all what is called, some people call them black swan, SWANs, black swan event. So आप क्या करेंगे after this session? Write this word. I don't want to tell you what is this. You find out on your own. Black, BLACK, black swan, SWAN, black swan. Black swan or black swan, some people call it. Okay, swan means ek hans. Okay, it's like a duck. So a black swan is a rare event basically. So you find out more about it. Who coined the term? What is it? What kind of examples there's can you find? So this is maybe in each class I'll tell you what more you can learn. So today you please find out about black swan, SWAN. Okay, black swan event. So we don't know what will be the projection, what will be the reality, but the projection is that our economy will contract by 3.2%, which means that our economic output will be less by this percent over last year's total percent. Okay, last year's total. We don't know, but it's going to be pretty bad, my friends. It's going to be pretty bad. And since it's global economic prospects, who is the World Bank's chief economist? Carmen Reinhart. Carmen, CARMEN. World Bank chief economist Carmen, CARMEN, Carmen Reinhart, INHART, Carmen Reinhardt. Okay. Next. Which of the following statements these are true regarding the printing of 1 rupee currency notes? All of them are true. In fact, the obverse side. See, फिलहाल तो ये तो खाली paper है दोनों. Okay, they are खाली paper. But let's say this is the main side. This is a एक simple सी बात है. लेकिन ये phone है. Okay, this phone, this is the main side. This is called obverse. What is it called? Obverse. ये है इसका. Sorry. This is the obverse side, the main side. Okay, and this is the reverse side. Reverse का opposite होता है obverse. Remember, reverse का opposite होता है obverse. Currency note पे the main side is where you find in big letters the denomination of the currency. Okay, 10 बड़े अंकों में लिखा होता है, big font में होता है, वो main side होते हैं. उसका जो picture side होता है उसको reverse side बोलते हैं. ठीक है? Currency, coins and all that. So the obverse side of the 1 rupee note will contain the words Government of India with the bilingual signature of the bilingual is Hindi and English of the Secretary of the Ministry of Finance. Typically 1 rupee note has this. Every other note has the RBI governor's signature, but when it comes to 1 rupee notes, it is always the Finance Secretary's signature. Number 2, the surrounding design will be of the Sagar Samrat, which is an oil exploration rig, which is in the, if I'm not wrong, in the Arabian Sea. The overall color of the 1 rupee currency note will be predominantly pink green on the obverse and the reverse in combination with others. These days, if you have seen the old currency notes and these new currency notes, they are very, very different, very bright colors these guys have, new notes have. It will also have a multi-tonal watermarks. It will also have multi-tone, not A. It will also have multi-tonal watermarks. Watermarks is, let's say, आप इस slide को देख रहे हैं, पीछे दो आपको time दिख रहा है logo, that's a watermark. Okay, the background thing. It will also have a multi-tonal watermark with Ashoka pillar in the window without the word Satyameva Jayate. India's national motto is Satyameva Jayate. Truth only wins. Truth alone triumphs. And remember, these words Satyameva Jayate come from Mundaka Upanishad. Mundaka Upanishad. Okay, so I think all of them are right, so I don't have to really but this, see, in these kinds of questions, the idea is to give you information. ये पूरा note है about 1 rupee note. This is a note you could have in your book, okay, in your notebook. Okay, according to the Food Safety and Standards Authority of India, India's Food Safety Index for 2019-20, the topper among the largest states in terms of food security is Gujarat. Okay, so I'll give you the names of the top 3 states among large states, small states and union territories. So आप लिखिए State Food Safety Index. You please write this. State Food Safety Index 2019-20. Okay, so underline that. उसके लिखिए large states top 3. Large states top 3 dash, in order you could write Gujarat, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, मैं लिखता हूँ clarity के लिए, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra. Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra. Gujarat, TN, Maha. Okay. Next, उसके नीचे small states top 3. Small states top 3. Dash Goa, G-O-A, Goa. Manipur, M-A-N-I-P-U-R, Manipur, ये तो simple है. Goa, Manipur. Third is Meghalaya. Third is Meghalaya. Food safety. Number 3 is third category is union territories. Okay. Dash Chandigarh. One is Chandigarh. Rank 1 Chandigarh. Rank 2 Delhi. and to Delhi. And rank 3 is Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Andaman and Nicobar Islands. So see, you got large states, which is Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra. Small states, Goa, Manipur, Meghalaya. Union territories, Chandigarh, Delhi, Andaman and Nicobar Islands. Got it, guys? Cool. Let's go. India secured, this is something we discussed yesterday, and this is a revision question. India secured dash rank out of 180 countries in the 12th edition of the Biennial Environment Performance Index. That question was about the topper, and this is about India rank. And I told you, out of 180 countries, India's rank was 168, 168th Environmental Performance Index. Top 5, what are the top 5? Denmark, Luxembourg, you could write. Just look back in your books. Let's see. Basically, if I get it right, Denmark, Luxembourg, Switzerland. 4th is UK. 5th is France. Yeah. Did I get it right? I guess yes. Denmark, Luxembourg, Switzerland, UK, and France. And look. Out of 1 countries, the worst was, if I'm not wrong, 180th was Liberia, 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 which is a country in Africa. Okay, guys, from here, the Reserve Bank of India has restricted People's Cooperative Bank (PCB) from granting fresh loans and accepting deposits for 6 months from the 10th of June 2020 due to its weak financial position. People's Cooperative Bank is based in Kanpur. It's in Kanpur, my friends. Banks go weak because one, they lend a lot of money and to dubious people, especially dubious means that people borrow and they don't return that money. So that loan turns NPA, and when the loan turns NPA, it means that the depositor's money is gone. Technically, that is what it is. Yeah. So you have this. I think that should be fine. Yeah. World Oceans Day is observed on the 8th of June every year, and this also, I think this was one of the choices in the previous one. World Oceans Day is observed on 8th June every year. Theme of 2020 is innovation for a sustainable ocean. Now, what are the types, what are the different oceans? Pacific Ocean, Pacific, which means peaceful. Pacific Ocean, which is the largest ocean in the world, it covers 1/3 of the earth. Then we have Atlantic Ocean. The third is Indian Ocean. Fourth is Arctic Ocean. Fifth is Antarctic Ocean. Many people don't see Antarctic as a separate ocean, but then because they say that it's a southern extension of the Pacific Ocean, the Indian Ocean, and Atlantic Ocean. So whatever it is still for us. Since our childhood, we have been learning. We have learned that the Antarctic Ocean, is one of the 5 oceans. So innovation for a sustainable ocean, but sustainable in the sense that fishing is a major issue, my friends. Indiscriminate fishing. On which of the following is the cash reserve ratio based? It's always deposit of banks. What's the current CRR? 3%. 3% as of the last day of June, last day, you could say, last week of June 2020, the CRR is 3%. It's 3% of total time and demand deposits of a bank. So this has to be kept with the RBI. See, some of these questions won't take time, guys. Okay. Which country's development finance corporation is planning to invest about $350 million in sectors of finance, health, infrastructure, renewable energy, and food security in India? United States. Who is the US Vice President? Often we think of the president, but we never think of the Vice President's name. And the Vice President of the US is Mike Pence. Mike, M-I-K-E. Mike Pence, P-E-N-C-E. Mike Pence. I repeat, Mike Pence, P-E-N-C-E. The US has 2 major parties. Generally, there's almost no other party. two major parties. One is the Democratic Party, the other is called the Republican Party. The Republican Party is the older one. Of these two, the Republican Party is the older one. Remember, a republic is a system in which the head of the state is an elected representative. So these guys, Republicans, fought against the British Empire. Okay, and they didn't want the British sovereign to be the head of their country, America. This Republican Party is also called the Grand Old Party. What is it? The Grand Old Party. So the older one, the oldest party in the country is called the GOP, Grand Old Party. In America, it is the Republican Party. In India, it is the Congress Party. Okay. The symbol of the electoral symbol of the Republican Party is elephant, Hathi, which is the same as the Bahujan Samaj Party symbol in India. Coming to the Democratic Party, it's a donkey. It's a donkey. No Indian party has, no major Indian political party has a donkey for a symbol, electoral symbol. I think that would be revealing too much. Yeah. So the Canadian Prime Minister is Justin Trudeau. Justin Trudeau. Trudeau. Justin Trudeau. Okay. The Indian Space Research Organization has signed an MOU with the Aryabhatta Research Institute of Observational Sciences for cooperation in the field of astrophysics and space situational awareness. Where is this IRIS based? IRIS is based in Nainital, Uttarakhand. Nainital, Uttarakhand. So, if you look at the choices, in each of these places, we have something to do with ISRO. Some body to do with ISRO. Like for example, in choice 1, Thiruvananthapuram, you find Vikram Sarabhai Space Center. Vikram Sarabhai Space Center. Thiruvananthapuram, Vikram Sarabhai Space Center. Bhopal, Master Control Facility. See, ISRO has 2 master control facilities. I mean, once the satellites, everything is launched, the rockets are launched, satellites are put in orbit. These are the, this is where they control everything from. So you have master control facilities in 2 places. One is in Bhopal, which is the capital of Madhya Pradesh, and 2, Hassan, which is in Karnataka. So choices 2 and 4 are home to ISRO's Master Control Facility. Master Control Facility, MCF. Choice 5, Bengaluru is where they have ISRO's headquarters. Okay, ISRO's headquarters, Bengaluru. ISRO, as you know, was established in 1969. And who is the chairman of ISRO? Dr. K. Sivan. Kailas Vadivu Sivan or Shivan. Array, I should have got this book, yeah. Who among the following is the first Indian to receive the Richard Dawkins Award 2020? Javed Akhtar. Who was Richard Dawkins? He is a scientist, a biologist, a scientist, and considered to be the most famous atheist. Most famous atheist. The word atheist, A-T-H-E-I-S-T, atheist. Is a prefix which means without. Okay? Without. Theist, someone who does not believe in God. See, theo means God. So, a theist, someone who does not believe in the existence of God. Nastic, someone who is a Gnostic. So, he is considered to be one of the most famous Gnostics in the world. He is a great scientist. He has written terrific books. I have all of his books. His most famous book is named The God Delusion. The God, the God, G-O-D, God, Delusion, D-E-L-U-S-I-O-N, Delusion. एक प्रकार का भ्रम, इनका नाम delusion is not exactly भ्रम, but you can say भ्रम होना कि भाई भगवान है टाइप, ओके. और जो एक जावेद अख्तर है, जावेद अख्तर is a lyricist, he is a story writer, script writer. He is a dialogue writer, he is a lord, he is also a political activist, and he is a declared atheist. he does not believe in God. And these are not my words, his words. Okay? He has always believed that there is no God. There is no God. And Javed Akhtar, received this award for this year. Do you know any of these guys? Of course, you would know almost all of them. Yeah, Amitabh Bachchan is, of course, a superstar, angry young man. Yeah, and there is something that every Indian knows about. If there is one actor, it is almost every Indian knows about is Amitabh Bachchan. Salim Ali is the Birdman of India. Birdman of India. Birdman of India. He is called the father of ornithology, study of birds. Ornithology. 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 एक सलीम अली सेंटर फॉर नेचुरल हिस्ट्री है, दैट इज इन कोयम्बतूर. सलीम अली सेंटर फॉर नेचुरल हिस्ट्री विच इज इन कोयम्बतूर. Kamal Hassan was born into a Tamil Brahmin family. Kamal Hassan is a political activist. I would say political activist is not very important to me, but as a great, probably one of the greatest actors India has produced. Kamal Hassan. Okay. Then we have MJ Akbar. MJ Akbar is a former MP. Former MP. Is no longer an MP. He was editor-in-chief of Deccan Chronicle, the Asian Age. He was a Congress MP and then a BJP MP. He worked as the Minister of State for External Affairs in the first Congress, in the first Modi Sarkar. But I think he had to resign because of allegations of sexual harassment and other things. If you want to read his books, there is this great book he has written. I would recommend this book. It's called The Siege. India, The Siege Within. The Siege. SIEGE. The Siege Within. WITHIN. The Siege Within. बहुत अच्छी किताब है. आई थिंक इन्होंने 1984 में लिखी थी. बहुत पुरानी किताब है. Then it was a revised edition also. There is a revised edition also. He majorly focused on Punjab, Kashmir, and later Indian politics, but generally on these two things. बहुत अच्छी किताब है. The terrorism in Punjab and everything is vividly captured by this person. Okay, but there is an old saying about atheists, नास्तिकों के बारे में. What is the prayer of a Nastik? Okay, I read somewhere that the prayer of a Nastik is atheist is, thank God I'm an atheist. Okay, so an atheist is a person who does not believe in the existence of God. Then there are people who say, I don't know there is God. I won't say there is no God, but I won't say there is no God. So these are fence sitters. क्या बोलते हैं उसको, दीवार पर बैठने वाले, इस तरफ छलांग लगाएंगे उस तरफ बिल्ली के जैसे. They are called agnostic. What's the word? Agnostic. 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 One who neither confirms nor denies the existence of God. इनका प्रेयर क्या होता है? Oh God, if there is a God, save my soul if I have a soul. Okay. So when you read, you get to know all these things. It's fun to read, to learn. And I'm sure you will agree with me. Amid tension in the Mediterranean, Medi is middle, terra is land, EAN is a Greek suffix for, इसको prefix बोलते हैं, Medi, let's say for example, Medi, prefix. Okay, Medi को root भी बोलते हैं. Okay, terra is also root. इससे कई words आते हैं. Okay, EAN is a suffix, which means which ends in which is the last 2 or 3 letters in the word. Okay, a water body in the middle of the earth, Mediterranean region. Amid tension in the Mediterranean region over rights to natural resources like fishing, or deep or hydrocarbon resources and everything, which two nations have recently signed an agreement demarcating their maritime boundaries. Greece and Italy. ये देखिए, ये है Italy. Okay, ये है Greece. ये ग्रीस. मैंने आपको बताया था साइप्रस के बारे में. देखिए, आई हैड टोल्ड यू, आई हैड मेंशन्ड साइप्रस इन वन ऑफ दोस सेशंस. and this is Cyprus. The southern part is Greece. You can see the southern part is Greece. The northern part is Turkish. And you know what? This country has a map. The map of the country on the UN's flag. So this is the Greek area where the fishing zone, the maritime zone exists basically. Okay. So these two countries share maritime boundaries. Maritime boundaries means samudra ke us taraf basically. So Greece and Turkey are enemies. They are generally considered enemies. Okay. It's wonderful. This is the Mediterranean Sea. This is the Mediterranean Sea. See this local map. You see this is Malta, small country called Malta, whose capital is Valletta. Chile. This is the Black Sea. This is the Black Sea, and this is the Mediterranean Sea. Okay. You see this is Istanbul. Istanbul is on both sides. This is the European Turkey. European Turkey. This portion of Turkey is European. Okay. ये है एशियन. और यहाँ पे आप देखिए, यहाँ पे एक छोटा सा, there is a cut in the land. This connects Black Sea with the Mediterranean Sea. This narrow feature, this narrow channel of water is called strait. Remember, a strait is a narrow channel of water that separates two land bodies. Like between India and Sri Lanka, we have Pak Strait, P-A-L-K, Pak Strait, like that. Okay? चलिए आगे चलते हैं. So try to learn. Maps are great, awesome, fun. This is Albania. Tirana, is a capital. I think we will learn about these countries. There are 2-3 questions on these things. EEZ is exclusive economic zone. Exclusive economic zone. Exclusive economic zone. So Greeks can fish, can explore for hydrocarbons, other minerals in the sea basically. Okay, other stuff in the sea. Here this is for Italy. This is for Italy. They have been fighting for a long time. Now they said, chalo bhai, let's end this kind of thing. Okay. The assets of a commercial bank can be, what can be? They are always loans given by it. So when the bank lends money to us, what is it lending? It's asset. Okay. It's asset. Bank's asset. But when the bank does not get it back, it becomes non-performing asset. Non-performing asset. Okay. So deposits taken from a bank are a commercial bank's liabilities. Deposits taken from public are the liabilities of a commercial bank, and the lendings it does are assets. Which of the following does not hold true for basic savings bank deposit accounts? These are no frills accounts. They were previously called no frills accounts. No frills means nothing extra. जैसे आप एयरलाइन इंडस्ट्री में नो फ्रिल्स एयरलाइंस, इंडिगो इज अ नो फ्रिल्स एयरलाइन. मीन्स आपको खाना नहीं देंगे, आपको कुछ नहीं देंगे, पानी पूछेंगे तो आप पूछेंगे तो पानी देंगे, नहीं तो वो भी नहीं देते हैं. ओके. Whereas in airlines like Vistara, Air India, they normally serve water, breakfast, snacks, breakfast, some food meal basically. Yeah. Here there is nothing. So in these kinds of accounts, no frills, no debit card, nothing unless you ask, pay. People with BSPDA can have fixed or recurring deposit account in that bank. They are part of the RBI's measures on financial inclusion. So these are meant for people at the very bottom of the pyramid. Okay. There is no stipulation for any initial deposit for opening BSP. So there is no, in fact, there is almost zero, zero balance accounts. KYC norms are not applicable. No, everyone who opens a bank account has to submit know your customer details like Aadhaar hai, some ID proof and all that. So KYC norms are also applicable to these account holders. Okay. And normally these accounts covered Jan Dhan Yojana. Jan Dhan, Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. Which state government has launched a centralized manpower repository, Raj Kaushal, to ensure jobs and to help start to ensure jobs and help to start industries in the state. Rajasthan has done this, and Rajasthan is India's largest state. Things aren't doing well in a lot of. See, the problem with most of these states is that they start policies, but they don't take them to logical end. They just remain on paper. Hopefully things work because Rajasthan is suffering badly because a lot of migrant labor has moved back from different parts of the country. So we have Rajasthan's Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot. Odisha is where you find Navin Patnaik in the CM's house. Madhya Pradesh Shivraj Singh Chauhan. Uttar Pradesh Yogi Adityanath. Bihar Nitish Kumar. In June 2020, which Indian IT company signed the UN Global Compact initiative to reduce emissions? To reduce emissions. This is one of those sustainable development goals. Okay. Tech Mahindra has signed this, and who's the CEO of Tech Mahindra? Tech Mahindra CEO is C.P. Gurnani. C.P. Gurnani. 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 HCL Technologies, Hindustan Computers Limited Technologies, Roshni Nadar, Roshni, R-O-S-H-N-I, Roshni Nadar, N-A-D-A-R, Roshni Nadar. Her full name is Roshni Nadar Malhotra because she was born in Nadar and she married a Malhotra. That's how it. Mindtree is an IT company that was started by three persons who worked for Wipro in the past. Okay, Mindtree, now the CEO is Debashish Chatterjee. Debashish, I'll have to write Debashish. Yeah, no issue. Debashish. Debashish Chatterjee. Debashish Chatterjee. Infosys CEO is Salil Parekh. Salil, S-A-L-I-L. Salil Parekh, P-A-R-E-K-H. India's second largest IT services company. Infosys. India's second largest. TCS is India's largest. Tata Consultancy Services CEO is Rajesh Gopinathan. Rajesh Gopinathan. Which brand is ranked number 1 on the list of the strongest Indian brands by Brand Finance in their India 100 2020 report? Taj. Taj Hotels is India's number 1 brand, my friends. I would want you to write this. Taj Hotels. Okay. Dash. Brand owned by Indian Hotels Company Limited. The Indian Hotels Company Limited. The Indian Hotels Company Limited. It's IHCL, my friends. IHCL. Indian Hotels Company Limited. Dash. Also owns Vivanta, V-I-V-A-N-T-A, Vivanta, comma, Gateway, G-A-T-E-W-A-Y, Gateway, comma, Selections, S-E-L-E-Q-T, write it, S-E-L-E-Q-T-I-O-N-S, Selections. C नहीं है, Q है, selections and ginger ये सभी इनके ब्रांड्स हैं. Terrific hotels, and all are owned by Tata Group. They're all part of Tata Group. So you could write IHCL chairman, IHCL CEO, IHCL CEO dash Punit Chatwal, Punit Chatwal, C-H-H-A-T-W-A-L, C-H-H-A-T-W-A-L, Punit Chatwal. So terrific hotels they have. Look at the choices. HDFC chairman Deepak Parekh. I'm talking of HDFC Group, Housing Development Finance Corporation Group. Chairman Deepak Parekh. Parikh. He is a CA. Deepak Parekh. Oberoi Hotels dash owned by East India Hotels. East India Hotels. East India Hotels. East India Hotels dash also owns Trident, 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 and Maiden, Maiden, Maiden. Underline East India Hotels, pull it down arrow right. CEO Vikramjit, Vikramjit, Vikramjit Singh, Singh, Singh Oberoi, Vikramjit Singh Oberoi. Then, Jio is owned by Mukesh Ambani, Reliance Industries. Titan is owned by Tata Group, right? Titan dash owned by Tata Group, just like Taj is owned by Tata Group. Titan owned by Tata Group dash joint venture between Tata Group and Tamil Nadu Industrial Development Corporation. Tamil Nadu Industrial Development Corporation, TIDCO. So the TI stands for TIDCO, TA stands for Tata, but it's just a merger, okay? Name is Titan. So underline Titan, pull it down arrow right. CEO. The CEO is C.K. Venkataraman. C.K. Venkataraman. Next. National Science Day is observed on 28th February every year, or to mark the discovery of the Raman effect by C.V. Raman in 1928. The great Chandrasekhara Venkataraman discovered the Raman effect, which is about scattering of light. So, what is India's National Mathematics Day? December 22nd is Mathematics Day, National Mathematics Day, because that's the birthday of the great mathematician Srinivasan Ramanujan. Then National Sports Day, August 29th, because it's a birthday of the great hockey player, Dhyan Chand. ऐसे याद रखना चाहिए, okay? So, C.V. Raman won the Nobel Physics 2 years, that is 1928 में इन्होंने डिस्कवर किया रामन इफेक्ट को, और 1930 इनको नोबेल प्राइज मिला था. Okay, I think too much of choices. Too many times we have discussed these choices. Like December 1st is World World AIDS Day. May 3rd is, if I'm not wrong, World Press Freedom Day. World Press Freedom Day. April 14th is Baba Saheb's birthday, which is Prem Divas. I think May 31st is No Tobacco Day. In the last week of June 2020, Michael, this is the right spelling, it's not Michael, it's Michael Martin became the new Prime Minister of Ireland. 2-3 sections back, I told you the Prime Minister was Leo Varadkar. He's lost now. Michael Martin is the new Prime Minister of Ireland. And Iceland's Prime Minister is Jacobs. Okay, I think एक काम करते हैं. Um, Iceland will come back because they have a new president. They have a president who has been re-elected. So Iceland, if you are looking at prime minister, right? Katrin, Katrin, Katrin Jakobsdottir, Katrin, Katrin. The next word is one word. Jakobsdottir. 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 Okay, that's Iceland's prime minister. Greece prime minister is, you can write Kyriakos, 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 Kyriakos. Mitsotakis, Mitsok. No, I repeat, Mitsokis, Mitsotakis. Yeah, Mitsotakis, Mitsotakis. That's a Greek prime minister. Belgium, this lady is under fire. Her name is Sophie Wilmès. Sophie, Sophie, Sophie Wilmès, Wilmes. Sophie Wilmès. France, president है, prime minister भी है, लेकिन president is more important here. I mean, head of the state, head of the government also. Emmanuel Macron, Emmanuel, Emmanuel, Emmanuel Macron, 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 Emmanuel Macron. Okay. In the last week of June 2020, Guani Johnson was re-elected the president of Iceland. Katrin Jakobsdottir is the prime minister. This is the president. Okay, this is the president. And Portugal's president is, the capital is Lisbon, and the president is Marcelo, Marcelo. I repeat, Marcelo, Marcelo Rebelo, 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 DED space Sousa, Sousa, Marcelo Rebelo de Sousa. What's the capital of Iceland? The capital of Iceland is Reykjavik. 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 Okay, Reykjavik. And the currency of Iceland is krona, Krona. Sorry, Krona. Iceland krona, Krona, krona. Ireland we just mentioned. Then Italy. Italy's prime minister is Giuseppe Conte. Giuseppe. Giuseppe. Giuseppe Conte. Conte. Conte is the prime minister. In a very bad shape. Poland. Andrzej Duda. Andrzej. Andrzej Duda. Duda. Andrzej Duda. Andrzej. Andrzej Duda. Duda. The currency is, what is the currency? What is the capital of Poland? Capital of Poland is Warsaw. 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 The currency is zloty. I think you already know this. The World Press Freedom Index is compiled by Reporters Without Borders. Which country occupies the top spot in the 2020 world press freedom index. It is Norway. So why don't you write this top 5 countries? Norway, Finland, Norway, Finland, Norway, Finland, Denmark. Number 3 is Denmark. Number 4 is Sweden. Number 5 is Netherlands. See, अब choice 4 देखिए, that's number 1. And the other choices are in that order. Norway, Finland, number 2 is Finland, number 3 is Denmark, rank number 4 is Sweden, rank number 5 is Netherlands. Okay. What is India's rank? India's rank 142. 142 out of 180 countries. 142 out of 180 countries. See, I have always believed that these indexes are quite biased. So, when they say that there is a lot of pressure on Indian media, you think about the kind of critical articles they have against the Prime Minister, against the government, yet they say there is no freedom. If there is no freedom, can you write against the Prime Minister of India? Can you write against the government of India? You can't. Yet, because see, lot of this Twitter, lot of this economies, Washington Post, lot of mainstream media these days, social media included, are controlled by liberal leftists. So we need to be little careful about who is writing what. Okay, so these are important things. I don't have a personal view on this, but important thing is, who do they interview? Who do they interview while taking this surveys, basically? So we have, Norway number 1, number 2 is Finland, Denmark, Sweden, Netherlands. India's rank is 142 out of 180, and China has 177th rank. China has 177th rank, while North Korea is the last, 180. North Korea is last. Find the odd one out. The RBI, Reserve Bank of India, Reserve Bank of Japan, Bank of England, US Federal Reserve, and Citibank. Citibank is the odd one out. Why? Because the first 4 are central banks, whereas Citibank is a private financial services company. It's not a government-owned entity. I think too many companies you have taken the CEOs. So I wanted to discuss Citibank, but let's maybe some other time. What is the fund created by the RBI to push digital payments across the country? We discussed this so I'm not going to discuss this again. I gave you notes on Payments Infrastructure Development Fund. The RBI has come out with a 500 crore fund for this, so that this could be pushed into digital payments could be pushed in tier 3 tier 3 to tier 6 cities below 20,000 population cities, where people could actually transact, where normally people transact in cash. So instead of cash, why not cards and digital payments and all that? Okay, so 250 out of 500 crores, 250 crores will be funded by the RBI. The rest will come from card issuing banks like Indian banks and foreign banks, plus service providers like card service providers like RuPay, like MasterCard, like Visa, those kinds of companies. So we need to push digital payments. It's always good, of course, everything is in white. Balance transfer is, I think I discussed this also, when there is some money that is I'm not able to pay on a credit card, I can transfer it to some other credit card. So this way I can get 3 extra months at a very low rate of interest. Instead of, normally on a credit card, if I don't pay on due date, the interest charge is about 3% per month. Compounded per annum, it's about 44%, which is a lot of money. So this other car company will call me up and say, hey Bharat, you have this balance. It's open secret, okay? You have balance on some card and everything. So why don't you, transfer it to our bank? We will charge you interest of just about 11% and maybe one-time processing fee of 300 rupees or so. So I say that 11% is for the 3 months is better than 44% here. So I transfer this. So they take the loan. I pay to them after 3 months. That's how it is. Okay. So process of transferring amount due on a credit card to another card. That's it. Nothing else. In 2020, the FIFA announced last month rather. This month, sorry, June 2020, FIFA announced that the 2023 Women's World Cup will be jointly hosted by Australia and New Zealand. Women's World Cup Football Championship, and 2019 was hosted by, if I'm not wrong, was won by, what is it, US, was won by US, and it was hosted by France. You could write 2019 Women's World Cup, 2019 Women's World Cup dash hosted by France dash won by US, US is world number 1 in women's football. Okay. And what about football tournaments now? See, 2018 is over, men's football. Yeah, 2018 is over. It was hosted by Russia, and it was who won it? France, Croatia. France won it. France जीता था क्रोएशिया के ऊपर 4-2 I think was the score line. And coming to the next football tournament, men's I'm talking of, 2022 Men's Football World Cup will be in Qatar, 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 2022. Okay, and 2026 will be in 3 countries: Mexico, US, and Canada. So 2022 Football World Cup, Men's Football World Cup in Qatar, QATAR. 2026, 3 countries: US, Canada, and Mexico. And only up to 2023 is women's announced. Okay, so fairly good one. Oh, that was the last one. I didn't realize it. So that's about it, guys. Have a lot of fun. Thanks for being here. And for a long time, as I mentioned, that we had met today on a Saturday. Thanks once again for being here. This is a fairly short session. Enjoy yourself and stay safe and stay curious.